Once upon a time, in a faraway place in the East, there lived a wise old man who knew a lot about how people feel. People came from all around to ask him for advice on how to be calm and happy inside. One day, a young guy came to him looking worried. He said, "I'm really scared. I'm afraid of what's coming in the future, of things I can't control." The old man listened and then said, "Being scared is like a big cloud covering the sun. It stops us from seeing how nice the world is. But fear has a starting point. If we find out what makes us scared, we can beat it." The young guy was curious and asked for more. So the old man told a story. Once, in a small village, a poor man worked hard every day to make a living. He heard that a rich man was giving away money to the poor in the village. The poor man was happy and waited in the village square. When the rich man came, he stopped to talk. But the poor man was too scared to speak. The rich man asked why he was scared, and the poor man said, "I'm afraid you won't give me any money. I'm afraid I'll have nothing." The rich man smiled and said, "Don't worry, I'll help you." He gave the poor man a bag of gold coins. The poor man was so happy, but then he realized he left his own bag of coins behind. He ran back to the rich man and said, "Take these coins back. I don't need them." The rich man said, "Keep them. You'll need them later." But the poor man was scared of losing the coins and said no. Years went by, and the poor man became rich. He had everything he wanted, but he was still scared. He worried about losing what he had worked so hard for and about the future. He understood that his fear started from the bag of coins he left behind. The young guy was confused and asked the old man to explain. The old man said, "The bag of coins shows how attached the poor man was to things. His fear came from thinking he couldn't be happy without those things. But happiness isn't in things, it's in our hearts and minds." The young guy realized that his fear came from wanting control over things he couldn't control. He learned that real happiness comes from inside, and that fear isn't real. It's like a trick that stops us from being happy. The old man smiled and said, "Fear is like a dark room. When you open the curtains, light comes in and the darkness goes away. In the same way, when we understand why we're scared and let go of things, we can find happiness and peace inside." The young guy left feeling better than he had in a long time. He saw that fear had been stopping him, but now he was ready to face it. Fear is something everyone feels sometimes. It's when we're worried about something we don't know or something bad happening. But fear can hold us back from doing things and being happy. We have to understand it and not let it control us. The first step is to know why we're scared. Once we know that, we can do something about it. Mindfulness is a good way to fight fear. It helps us stay in the moment and not worry too much. When we focus on what's happening right now, fear gets weaker. It's also important to do things that scare us. That's how we can beat fear. Taking small steps toward what scares us makes us stronger and less scared. Subscribe to our channel and become part of a tribe that seeks enlightenment, inspiration, and the power of knowledge.